After landing in Johannesburg and spending 2 hours in customs, all we wanted to do was get back to our hotel room, and as soon as we did, we slept. This was our first view of South Africa in the daylight. The landscapes really made it sink in that we're in a completely different continent. We started our day with a really nice complimentary breakfast at our hotel. We stayed at the Capital on Bath in Rosebank, and we really loved it. It was clean and comfortable, affordable, and it also had a really nice coffee bar, but the main thing was its safety. If you're concerned about the safety in Johannesburg like we were, Rosebank is a really great area to stay in. We felt completely safe walking around, and our hotel was only a 15-minute walk from the Rosebank Mall. There was a lot of really nice shops and restaurants at the mall, and it was convenient because we could withdraw cash and get a couple of necessities from the drugstore. The mall is also the departure point for the city sightseeing bus tour. Because we were only spending one day in Johannesburg, we decided this would be the safest and easiest way to explore the city. This was our first time doing one of these bus tours, and to be honest, I kind of thought they were tourist traps, but honestly it's quite the opposite, and I would highly recommend everyone do this if you're in Johannesburg. The plug-in headphones made it really easy for us to listen to all of the interesting information as we drove by the sites. Here we're passing by the famous St. John's College, and then we went past the Nelson Mandela Foundation, his sanctuary, and his former estate, which was really cool to look at all of these different properties and see how his legacy lives on. Because it is a hop-on, hop-off bus tour, you can really make it as short or as long as you want, depending on what time you have. We only had time to choose one stop off, and we chose Constitution Hill. The reviews were not wrong about wanting to spend a lot of time here. We only planned to spend an hour here, but we ended up spending 2.5 hours here. They say Johannesburg has a dark past, and here you'll really uncover that. The most shocking part was learning how South Africa has only been a democracy for 30 years. Before that point, the country lacked basic human rights, and you could get thrown in jail for the smallest of things. And things were going to be worse if you were a person of color. Not really a fun fact, but two of the world's most influential people, Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, were both imprisoned here. Although this was a somber way to kick off our honeymoon, I'm really glad that we went here because the history helped me to better understand what the people of South Africa had to go through. And because a lot of this is recent history, it's wild to think that some of the people who were imprisoned here are still alive. Here are some clips of us checking out the women's prison, which was separate from the men's prison. If you walk up to this area called the Ramparts, you'll be able to see an overview of everything inside of Constitution Hill and Johannesburg. Before we left, we got to check out the highest court in all of South Africa. The country now has 26 protected human rights, and each of them were engraved onto these main entrance doors, which I thought was a really cool detail. And instead of feeling really sad when we left, we actually felt really hopeful. It felt wrong to film, but throughout the rest of the bus tour, we did witness some significant poverty. 1 minute you were in a wealthy area, and then 2 minutes later, you're in the poorest of the poor. It was really eye-opening, to say the least. Once we finished our bus tour, we went back to our hotel to get our bags and then took an Uber to our next destination, which was 30 minutes outside of Johannesburg. Wow. So nice. We just checked into our room at the Kloofzicht Lodge and Spa, and here's what our room looks like. It's really cozy. We started the fire for us, and this is, I don't know if you can see with the glare, but this is like a little seating area, and then the main like hotel is that way. So I think we're just going to get ready for dinner, and then we're gonna go to the hotel restaurant. What up, babe?
Ready to eat.
Yeah, and here's the other room, bathroom. Nice big sink. And a nice tub. Definitely want to use that. Okay, so we are going off to our first sit-down dinner since landing in South Africa. And right now we are at Kloofzicht lodge and spa, which I showed you guys either before this or after this clip. And we're just here for a night. We came from Johannesburg and we mainly came to do the hot air balloon tomorrow morning. So yeah, I mean, it's really a beautiful place. It's kind of sad that we're not able to stay here longer, but we just were trading off the pros and cons, and we decided that only spending one night here gave us the opportunity to like kind of sightsee in Johannesburg a little bit. And we have like lots of other cute lodges and places coming up in the itinerary. So at least we got to see the property before sunset, which you saw earlier, I'm sure. And now we're gonna go get dinner, which I am so hungry. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of tried to fix up my hair from earlier the best I could, and didn't really do too much because we're just gonna go to bed after this. So I didn't really want to put a ton more makeup on, but yeah, let's go get dinner and see what they have on the menu. Yeah, kind of scary a little bit because we heard cats fighting. I don't know, there was some kind of cat noise, so I'm making him lead the way.
As I should. Cheers, baby.
Honeymoon. Good morning.
Morning.
We are all ready to do something very excited. We are off to do something very exciting.
We're still half asleep.
Yeah, we are half asleep. We are going hot air ballooning, and it's not just any hot air balloon. It's a hot air balloon safari. So we have the chance to see animals from the air. So hopefully we see some. The weather's all good. It's about 5:30 a.m. right now, and we're gonna go meet our guide in the hotel lobby. So
we're going out at like sunrise. Hopefully we get to see a really nice sunrise, and then they do say like animals are active like around sunrise or so. So fingers crossed we get to see a couple. So yeah, very excited for this. Woke up at 4 for this, so
yeah,
should be excited.
I'm excited. Let's go do it.
All right.
This is crazy. We're actually going on there.
Don't get a fight. Johnny for all. Survive. We'll put people on the next one. So those where guinea pigs come from, probably.
No, he's going to the bathroom. That's perfect for the video.
Look, welcome to Africa.
Thank you.
It is always a case like that. Stop! It's going to make a nice photo. At that moment, that animal will decide.